they are. Well, we're all nicely warmed up after that straight sets win for the Delhi Toofans, and here they are. They're defending champions. The Ahmedabad defenders aiming for the top of the ladder. If they win tonight, they go top of the table. And they're up against the Kochi Blue Spikers, who haven't won anything. Maybe a toss here or there, but just nothing's gone Kochi's way. Now, the Ahmedabad defenders, who started off really well, they lost that game against Bengaluru, and one thought maybe they'll lose their way, but they didn't. That result against the Mumbai Meteors, they won in 3-2 that match. Perhaps pushed the most in this tournament so far. Louis, firstly, hello, Ki. Welcome back.
Hi,
hey,
thank you. I can't believe I got kicked out when Anand was here. My favorite libero. I'm gonna have a word with our producer after this.
He was brilliant on the show, wasn't he?
He was, and I think he brings so much energy. I couldn't hear what was going on because I was behind the cameras, but I think just having that kind of energy and that presence, you could see exactly the same thing he's doing on the court he was doing right here in this chair.
Oh, yes, and energy is what Delhi had when they played the Mumbai Meteors. They won 3-2. Have we learnt anything new about the defenders in that win?
Yeah, I think we've learned a lot about them over the last 2 games, because if you think about the opening couple of matches, they had a perfectly balanced offense and the pass was in, and Mutusami had the likes of Max Seneca running around him. And I'm a big fan of this defenders team. I'm a big fan of Nanda on the outside. 17 points last time out. We learned he was clutch in the big moments with the Indian Oil Super Serve. But what we've also found against especially the Torpedoes and Mumbai, is they've been at their biggest struggle against the big serving teams. But if I was Mihailovic and the team, he knows that they're there at clutch times against Mumbai, and I think that's a real positive lesson.
And Ahmedabad know very well that teams like Delhi and Mumbai are not too far, so they cannot really live in the past. This is what their journey has been like. They've got 3 games left, including the one tonight. They do play the very dangerous teams, Calicut Heroes. Hopefully will be back in their classic red outfit and as effective, and then the Delhi Toofans in their last game. So clearly Ahmedabad don't want to leave it until the end. They'll want to win tonight and go top of the table. Now, in that last game, Ahmedabad threw us all a surprise. They gave themselves a surprise as well in that super sub, Shikhar Singh. I didn't expect that.
Well, I don't think any of us expected it. We haven't really heard that name all season long, but one of our questions was, Manoj, does he show up? And when he wasn't there, this fella right here stepped up big time. 3 blocks in the last set and 8 of the total team. So he really contributed to that final finish. He was our game changer because he just came in and did such a good job and had the back of the players that, well, we're just struggling a little bit.
Struggle has been a synonym for Kochi's journey in this league so far. They've lost to Calicut, Chennai, Bangalore, Mumbai, Kolkata. They've lost it all, 5 losses in a row. They are rock bottom. It can get worse if they lose again tonight. Now, Louis, if you were in the Kochi camp, what would you be saying to them?
I'd be trying to fire them up as much as possible, because it's been a tough start to the season, but everybody has a responsibility to bring your best possible self and your best possible performance to every matchup here. There's still so much you can learn about these big moments playing in the games, even for next season. I would be looking to building for the future, and what positives can we sort of make out of this situation.
Now, Key knows a thing or two about their foreign players. Jan Kroll, you spent some time with him trying to understand his game over a cup of coffee, I believe, where I wasn't invited, Louis wasn't either. What was the conversation like, and what's he told you about the Kochi Blue Spikers?
Well, he was all positive. He said his experience has been fantastic here. And I personally would have liked to see him get a little bit more sets. I think they couldn't really find him until later on the season. I think he came up absolutely fantastic in the last few games, but such a positive player, adds a lot of good impact as a person and on the court. And I wish he would have gotten a little bit more.
And in the last game, they didn't have Erin, did they? So they've given him more balls, but that's potentially because Erin wasn't around. But I would love to see that balanced offense too.
I wonder if he is back. If he's back, they certainly will fancy their chances against the Ahmedabad defenders, who, if you go by what Bangalore did, Ahmedabad are beatable. Because Bangalore won 3-0. So lots of things to talk about, lots of players to focus on as well. How about you guys and girls? Download the Fantasy Akara app, select your favorite players, and if they do well, you stand to win big prizes. Let's get our experts to help you with their player to watch out for and the result. Key, you go first.
I think it's your choice, actually, isn't it?
It doesn't matter, guys.
All right, well, then I'll go Ahmedabad. I think they're in a good position to win. They've got everything in their positivity in terms of camps. They've only won 1 match. So I would watch out for Nanda, because he was fantastic with his serving last time, and he's just such a spark plug.
Prediction as well.
3-1.
For Ahmedabad.
For Ahmedabad.
Louis.
Okay, then I'm going Kochi. Jan Krol's your guy. He's getting more and more of the ball. He's getting more involved. He's brilliant. He's played in some of the best leagues in the world. And I have to go a 3-2 win for Kochi then if I'm choosing Kochi, but I think it's going to be very difficult for them.
And if I'm choosing a shirt brand, I'm going for Indian Terrain because they've given us these lovely, comfortable shirts to wear on screen, so we look good. The players look even better when they take to court and show us their skills, their gladiatorial skills on the volleyball court. It's match number 26, Kochi rock bottom. Ahmedabad looks for the top spot. Live action coming up on the other side of this break. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, with all your favorite offers, let's welcome our referees for the second match today. First referee, Mr. Dayani B. Second referee, Mr. Dinesh Das. Our technical official for the match is Balaji Prabhu.
Well, the second match of the evening is going to be an absolute corker here at the Rupe Prime Volleyball League. Ahmedabad defenders looking to go back to the top of the table. They're up against the Kochi Blue Spikers side who are playing for pride here. Let's have a look at the table. And the one thing we know is that things are getting very, very close. Calicut at top, but Ahmedabad, the reigning champions from Season 2, could go back to the top of the table this evening against bottom of the table, Kochi. It's 5th and 6th for me. That looks exciting. The Chennai Bengaluru battle will be close next week, but we're heading down courtside with a teach for the announcements.
Our second match today of this Super Sunday is between two teams that currently occupy the top and the bottom spot in the points table of Rupe Prime Volleyball League powered by A23 Season 3. First up is a team that is still searching for that elusive first win. But they've had a change at the helm of affairs. Will that spark a change in fortunes? Please welcome the Kochi Blue Spikers!
Well, out come the Kochi Blue Spikers, now led by Bobby Xavier, the assistant coach of the team. Will a change at the helm mean a change in fortune for a team who are winless at the bottom of the league? They have some class. Erin Bergizi is one of the best outsides in India. Jan Krol from Poland has played for the likes of Warsaw in the top league in Poland. He's getting better and better They'll both need to be on fire this evening as Ahmedabad defenders look to get back to the top of the table. Will tonight be Kochi's first win of the season?
The defending champions find themselves perched comfortably at the top of the tree, looking down at everyone else and raining down those thundering spikes. It is the Ahmedabad Defenders!
The Ahmedabad Defenders coming up big in the last few matches. They are 4 wins and only 1 loss on the board. They are certainly one of, if not the team to beat this season. Nanda with a huge Indian Oil super serve to finish that last point in the last match. You know Angamutu's always looking for those corner shots. And some fresh faces like Shakur into the mix in the last couple of matches. Max Seneca, a big part of this role, as well as Ilya Brau through the middle. Love to see what's going to be going on with Mutu in the setting, but this team are looking for another win in the books to put them back at top of the table. Can they do it today against Kochi? We will see.
Both the teams are ready. Ab machegi dhoom.
Well, it's almost a battle of David and Goliath, this matchup. Kochi going without a win, completely untouched in the win column so far. And Ahmedabad almost completely the opposite, with only 1 loss on the board. How do these two teams stack up for you, Louis?
I think the defenders are going to be very difficult to beat with their balanced offense. Kochi are going to have to serve incredibly well, and they won the toss and they've chosen to receive first. My thing is, can Kochi get the defenders out of system the same amount of times as we saw from the Torpedoes and the Mumbai Meteors to run them close?
Well, here's the lineup for the defenders. Angamutu on the opposite. Absolutely no one is shocked by that choice. Shikhar Singh getting the start in the middle. Nanda, of course, the pocket rocket on the outside. Mutu will be the setter. Ilya Brau in the middle, and Max Seneca as that outside hitting spot as well. So the only change there really is Shikhar getting the nod over Manoj, and he was our game changer of the last match. So I think that's a good choice to get him in early, see what he can do. And also, you're always testing the bench players, and Ahmedabad are one of the strongest teams in that top, in their first 6 position. Dragan Mihailovic has a very strong core group. However, if in these matches, and particularly today against Kochi, perhaps we might see some shifting around and some experimentation to see if there are things he can pull out in the bigger games.
Well, their opposition tonight, Kochi Blue Spikers. Arman starts as the attacker. Vasant, the setter, Erin Baghazi is back again on the outside, having missed the previous game. Jibin starts as the opposite spiker, and Abhinav has been really about the efficiency this year. He's been one of the shining lights of this Kochi team, playing in the middle with the Brazilian Athos Costa. That's how we're starting up. Remember, Armen went for around 18 lakh in the auction, so they spent a lot of money again, the Kochi Blue Spikers. And just like last season, there's been a change at the helm, and in comes Bobby Xavier. And just like last season, well, Dejan Milicevic has been replaced, just like Harry Lau was last year for the Kochi Blue Spikers.
Dayandi will be the first referee, and he will be aided by the skills and the wisdom of Dinesh Das, the second referee. Now, it's a good point you make there about the change of coach. Will that be enough for Kochi? Because I feel as though a lot of teams at the high level, they just cut the coach immediately when things aren't going well, and it's really only been 5-6 games in the scheme of things. That's not a lot if you're looking at a long-term season, but because this season is so short, Kochi trying to make a change immediately.
Well, the fans are definitely in, and we're lucky. We've just seen him down courtside announcing the team's in, and he's run up to the commentary box very quickly. Atish, welcome.
Thanks, Louis.
Good to have you back.
Thank you. I put the afterburners on just so that I could catch the match action live, because it's going to be exciting. You mentioned the new coach team. Now the question is, usually you have a new manager or new coach bounce. Can that happen in terms of a mentality? That's the That's the answer we're looking for. And the first point just bounced off Erin's hands.
Well, that's a great question by you, Atish. I think that's probably an answer right there. It's a really tough change to make mid-season because the strategy will change, the coaching style will change. A lot of things will be unfamiliar territory for the players, but maybe, just maybe, those shuffling of things could do very well.
Yeah, maybe. I tend to agree, but I also find it surprising in such a short season what you can change in terms of anything but mentality. So it's only the shift in mentality that we can see. The shift in technical skills, no. Tactical skills, maybe. But it'll be interesting to see because Kochi haven't got a lot to play for apart from pride. So we need to see pride leading the way here in their performance.
But here's the problem, here's the kicker. With points like these where they've just given it away, even if you thought that there is a spring in that step, suddenly they're falling on it.
Yeah, for me, there's no spring out there at the moment, is there? And what you're going to get, we're not going to get a half-decent performance from Kochi tonight. We're either going to get a very good performance, or it's going to be a tough one for him.
Meanwhile, how interesting is it that Shikhar is the one that's starting everything off? Of course, he came to the fore with his first appearance last time. What a dig there by Muthusamy. We hope he's all right. Seems a bit injured. Dragan Milajovic has asked for them to stop play as Muthusamy took a tumble, and the mastermind seems to be in a world of trouble.
This could be drastic for Ahmedabad. He is their go-to guy in the setting position. He fell really awkwardly there. Wonder if the wind was knocked out of him, but hopefully it's nothing to do with his hands because they are golden as terms of Ahmedabad's concerned.
That could definitely shift things. Let's have another look. Plays defense. Oh.
It looks as if his hand gets caught underneath his body there as he's falling.
That's not ideal for me. He's been the best, most exciting setter in this league. And yeah, he's could be in some issues here. We just hope, for his sake, the team's sake, the league's sake, that this is something he can get over as soon as possible.
Yeah, the owner of the team, the founding owner, Dr. D.G. Chaudhary, also that's a concerned figure, and rightly so, but the applause indicates that Muthusamy is, at least he's gotten up to a sitting position, he's gotten up completely, no need for the stretcher, so that means there is a chance for recovery, even though he may have to sit out the rest of the encounter. We'll have to see.
Well, this is an interesting turn of events early days. Kochi can either see this as an opportunity. If there's one less strength on Ahmedabad's side, that's can only be good for Kochi, but for Ahmedabad, dangerous times.
Yeah, it really is. They have Aswat on the bench as well. And I have to say, I was really impressed with Aswat last season. He's about 204, a very tall setter, and somebody that can come on, but not saying that Muthusamy is irreplaceable to this Ahmedabad team, but he's certainly not one of the players that you'd be wanting to go missing at key stages.
And it's interesting, because if you're not a volleyball player, you might not understand how important the setter is in the role of wins, because they don't actually score the points, but putting those balls in the position for Angamutu, for Max Seneca, for all of his attackers, for Nanda to get that can change drastically from setter to setter.
And I wonder, and this is a contentious question, if Muthusamy is to get hurt, then is there a match where he needs to get hurt? I mean, in the sense that, wouldn't this be the best opposition to try Ashwath out?
Oh, that's a great point. That's a great point.
Meanwhile, Ratish receives. Communication breakdown. And the plaudits go towards the Ahmedabad defenders for nothing of their own doing.
And to your point as well, Atish, you get a couple of points for finishing on top of the board. So it's not as if Ahmedabad are just going to throw caution to the wind and start changing up and putting any old rotation in there. They still want every win desperately.
Yeah, they have so much to play for, obviously. Coming first and second in the league pays dividends for the Super Fives. But you've also got to say, Kochi, they haven't really turned up yet.
Yeah, all 3 points have come through Kochi errors, and the first point for Kochi comes through an Angamuthu error. Are we going to see any course corrections today?
Well, that's fascinating because he barely ever misses in the most difficult of situations. And if you're asking me, that's probably the easiest swing he could have taken all night. No blocker up. It's just held up there on a platter for him. So unusual for him to make that error.
The defenders have really got to keep their own standards high here, because if Kochi aren't quite on the money with their performance because they have nothing to play for, maybe spirits low in the camp, it's very easy for the team who are the favourites to drop their level as well.
Yep. One more point just gifted away. Sloppy play. The mindset. It's about the mindset. We're talking about the new manager bounce, the new head coach bounce, and the mentality that Louis was alluding to. But if you make these errors right at the start, there goes that possibility as well.
Yeah, you're completely right. And the points they're giving away, they're not sort of being made to, or making the defenders do anything. The first pass is elusive. Maybe here they're going to have a good swing. Happy days. We see a bit of good volleyball. But for me, you have to really try and force your level, and you have to push for your level here, is the words that I would say, because the situation's pretty drastic for Kochi, but there's still so many things they can control.
Not to forget, the players should be playing for themselves and for a contract next season as well, because at the end of it all, you're under review in each and every match. Your performances are scrutinized, even if your team isn't performing. Muthuswamy trying to steal one there. Well dug out. Nanda Gopal, and then Angamuthu had to set for Seneca. Jibin to Abhinav to Aaron Verghese. They get the check. They get the point.
That's a great block by Ahmedabad. It might not look, because the point gets given to Kochi, but if you're a blocker up there, and at this stage, this is what's happened. It's a tip from Seneca to get a couple players out. So then they have 3 blockers up. There's the slowdown, the contact. And I just wonder if there might have been a miscommunication between the two in the back, because that was definitely a defendable ball.
Abhinav, meanwhile, at the baseline, Seneca receives, Muthu sets, and the angle man sends it out. Wow. Ahmedabad are yet to score a point of their own volition.
Get the paddle out then. Let's see what the video refs state. I mean, if I'm a defender right now, I'm also not happy with the level that my team are bringing, because there's too many errors, and I feel that their base level's getting brought down by the situation. But it's a nice pass from Max Seneca.
I was going to say, if I were a betting woman or man, I would put my money on Angamuthu to hit that ball in 9 times out of 10. I don't know if you were watching the last match, but he hit that absolute coin perfection into the corner, something like 2 times in a row. He hit it once and we said, yeah, do it again. It's luck unless you do it twice, and he did it twice. So I think in terms of people that you'd want to call a review on, an Angamuthu swing is one of them.
Here's a stat for you. The angle man hasn't scored in double figures yet this season, which compared to last season, he had 22 points against Mumbai Meteors, 13 against the Heroes, 12 in this fixture, and 13 in the semi-final against Calicut Heroes.
Well, I would argue that's because he has a little bit more to help him out.
Oh, so me too.
He's got more on the wings. He's not carrying it, shouldering it all himself. So actually what we're looking at in this review is a touch. We were under the assumption that it was going to be a ball in or out, but they're actually calling for a touch here. Let's see the full play and see if it lands. Boop, out of frame.
Key, where does it land?
For me, that lands in.
That does land in.
For me too.
So all 3 of us in agreement. However, none of us get a say, as it turns out. So the question now for me is if they're challenging a touch or if they're challenging the ball in, because those are 2 very different outcomes, I think.
And there's a reason I don't get a say. My decision making is terrible.
The review's unsuccessful. Because they called for the wrong review.
Oh, unlucky.
The formalities have come in the way. I have another counter argument to your Angamuthu point, by the way.
Please, bring it.
After the Angamuthu mistake, yet another communication breakdown. What is going on in this encounter? Both teams seem to have their alarm clock on snooze.
This is the biggest, yeah, you're completely right, but this is the biggest banana skin ever for the defenders, because they're just not upping their level. I think they've come out thinking this is going to be a walk in the park, and it is, if they they bring their own game.
Right, the second argument towards Angamuthu not registering double-figure points is the fact that nowadays you don't have to play all 5 sets. They've been playing 3-0, 3-0, 3-0.
Great point.
And therefore you don't get those many. Yes, it's also spread out, but it's also the fact that he's just played lesser sets. Pocket rocket though has been blocked.
Nice point.
Kochi. Hello, Kochi. Welcome to the league. I mean, that's not fair. They've played some fantastic volleyball in spurts, but I think a Kred super block here shows Atos is in the mood for a big block. Oh, might actually be the right side getting that big one.
Yeah, it's excellent getting 3 in, and then 5 and 1 are protected, and the main thing on the pipe is not to hit sort of straight position 6 in the back middle. Go high, pick your angles. SBI super point already taken here. This is a fascinating one.
Yeah, a wee bit of a workout for D Dayanidhi there to signal the start of the SBI Super Point. A wee bit of a workout for Angamuthu as the angle man registers the point, wins it for his team.
I think that was a well-called SBI super point. I don't think you have to wait until you're at 11 as a team. I think in terms of Ahmedabad, that was a great rotation for them. They've got Angamuthu on the back court there, which means Mutu was front court. There's just a lot of things that looked good in play, and they go to their big swinging man who's delivering.
I love that swing as well, because a lot of his swings come back into the angle man. It shows he's got the line open as well, even though Kochi are blocking his main angles into the cross court.
Down the line goes Aaron Verghese too. Now it's anybody's game.
It really is. I still believe that, you know, and this is tough in sport, in all sports, is letting the situation sort of dictate your performance as opposed to you dictating the performance. And I'd like to see Ahmedabad just clean it up a little bit. They've given the one-on-one on the outside to Aaron, and Aaron loves hitting to the line, so I'd make sure that was the area that I protected. If I could block, but there's more chance of me becoming the president of a nation.
And also Aaron was missing, right? He wasn't there for a couple of matches, so that might have impacted the performance on Kochi's side. I think it would be really unwise for Ahmedabad to just assume this is going to be a rollover. Even if it has started a little sticky, any team can turn it on at any moment.
There seems to be, while we take a look at the replay for the 8-3 Super Spike, the battle for the review is up by the new coach, Bobby Xavier. I wonder how and I wonder why. They're not where they are, we know where they are.
Bobby Big Stick. I mean, I have no idea what this is called for, but we're about to find out.
Kochi are asking for a net touch, I'm told. Interesting review there.
Net touch by whom?
That's so maybe Kochi was called for a net touch, and they're saying we didn't net touch. That's the only thing I can think of, because there's definitely no white jerseys anywhere near the net. So.
In other news, I really love these slow-mos because you get a real feel. Have a look at Barao in the air, and then have a look at Seneca on that second tempo before Barao's even landed. That's the speed that we're playing at here for that pipe attack, and that's why Athos is struggling to see the middle and then jump into the pipe. Okay, what have you seen, Atish? You're pointing at the screen in front of us eagerly.
Are they trying to see whether Seneca went over towards the end? He didn't touch the net as such, but he did cross over the line with his landing foot.
Well, the rule on that is you're allowed to cross with your foot if it doesn't go all the way over. If there's space between that line and your entire foot gets on the other side, that's illegal. However, you can touch it as much as you want in this occasion.
Review unsuccessful because it wasn't completely over the line then.
There you go.
I would love to be Dragan Mihailovic at the moment. Just
Why?
wonder
Why is that?
I just wonder what's going through his head about this start of the game, because it's been fascinating. It's not the defenders at their best, but they're still tied up.
And actually, he's fascinating because I remember speaking to him after their first 3 losses that were, first 3 wins that were 3-0. And he said that it's not good enough. The level's not good enough. Our team is not good enough. We have to do more. So to see his team struggling like this, he's absolutely not going to accept it.
Meanwhile, it is the Kochi Blue Spikers in the lead right now. The mistakes are coming to the fore. It's clearly not the smoothest volleyball we've seen, but it's time for an Amul Cool technical timeout with the hope that it does get better.
Well, have a look at some of these innovations of the league, which we love so much. The SBI Super Points. This is something each team can call. They can call for it once per set. They have to do it before the team reaches 11 points, but whichever team wins gets double the points. It's awesome.
We love it, don't we? We love these little wrinkles in the rules. The Indian Oil Super Serve is another one that really makes us happy, because if the ball hits the floor from a serve with nobody touching it, that's worth 2 points. And that just happens nowhere else on planet Earth.
Well, two things are for certain at the end of that Amul Cool technical timeout, that Dragan Milhajovic won't be happy with his team's performance, and that Louis can't dance. As Erin Verghese starts off with a fast one, Shrikant towards the pocket rocket. Where were you? Where were you, Nandagopal?
He's been a little quiet. That's a good point. But I think he's absolutely going to be coming up big in this match. Once he gets going, I think he's one of those players that goes on momentum, certainly. Mutu's finding him there, and the line is wide open for him. He's already established that he can hit that cross, so giving him that line now, he's going there.
Muthusamy, has he shaken off that injury? Not a very good reception, and therefore it was easy pickings for the Ahmedabad defenders with that triple block.
Yeah, this is all about the service. Just taking the front court receiver on, and then the only way that this ball can go is back to position 4 because it's so far off the net. You've got 3 blockers up because everybody's making that read and saying, okay, we're going to take all the angles away, but it's poor passing.
Can we just give a little bit more credit to Shakur as well? He came in as a game changer for his blocking in the last match, and I just think he's been a little bit of a spark plug for this Ahmedabad side.
Yeah, the youngster just apologizing to his coach for missing that block against Athos though.
Rupe contactless shot though, just gets one through the hands. That's okay, they're lessons that we all need to learn.
You feel like you want to give him a hug, don't you, Louis?
Yeah.
There, fella. You got the next one.
A service error, and the Ahmedabad defenders are now taking the lead again. It's just going one way or the other, but not because of very sprightly skill on display.
Yeah, I'll still be looking for the defenders just to go up a couple of gears. Here's a man that can do it. Nanda from the baseline. He loves that chop back to 1. That was an Indian Oil Super Serve a couple of nights ago to win the game, and he's back at it.
What's fascinating to me is he doesn't have to go full throttle there. That ball was, he took so much heat off it, but because of that angle, the exact angle you're talking about there, with the spin, and it drops just in front of Rakesh. That's an excellent serve.
And I often wonder why a lot of these servers from the baseline don't use that cross-court short angle serve, because there is a possibility. Remember, the tournament the format has changed. It's a single round robin format wherein one team plays each other only once, and therefore you play 8 matches during the league. Each set contains 15 points, but if there's no 2-point differential that's been created till 15, then you go on to 16 or 17 till 2020, till it becomes 21, which is the deciding point. Each team will get 2 points for a victory and there is no need to play all 5 sets. If you win 3-0, you win 3-0. That's it. If you win 3-1, you win 3-1. That's a big change from last time around.
Another thing that's changed, and I'm just looking at the lineup or the players here. Kroll's not in now for Kochi, but it's an Indian Oil super serve. Fernando with the same shot. Zone 1 to zone 1, just absolutely annihilating it.
Nando the Ninja goes cross-body to the sideline the first serve. So do the passing units step round a little bit and then open up the seam. You would say that Ratish was thinking about that sideline, and then Erin, for me, needs to step around into that seam and take it. Interesting, but Nando again is proving that he can take this team through the gears when they need it.
It's going to be set point for the Ahmedabad defenders for this very reason. The SBI super point has been called by the Kochi Blue Spikers. Nanda to serve. 2 points are being fought for. Goes short yet again. Ratish dives. Set by Om. It's blocked. The set is won due to thunder from down under. It's a Seneca sensation.
Max Seneca coming up big in the clutch moments. Well, for me, that was all Nanda serving that ended that set. He was relentless from the end line. There it is again, drops it short. You know where that ball's going, but Max Seneca closing the door. And an SBI super point shuts it.
Well, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish, and the defenders finished that opening set incredibly well. They've taken a 1-0 lead against the Kochi Blue Spikers, and it's time for us to take a very short break.
Welcome back to the Rupe Prime Volleyball League. The defenders are up 1-0 over the Kochi Blue Spikers. It was a little sticky, a little ugly, but they got it done in the end with an Indian Oil super serve and a monster block by Max Seneca. Now, we're just looking at those stats. Everything looking good. However, I have some questions for you, Louis. You can head over to volleyballworld.com if you want to get all those exclusive stats. They are our international streaming partner. However, I'm looking at the lineup of Kochi right now, and we've talked about in the pre-show Jan Kroll being a fantastic contributor to the last few matches. I don't see him on court, and I have questions about it.
Yeah, I would say that if you're the coach of Kochi, that you would be maybe looking towards the future. And if Jan Kroll's not here next year, then it's giving youngsters a chance to have that experience. He's picked a very Indian 7 today, but Athos is in. So my main question would be, if you're going to do it, then go all in with it. So I'm caught in two minds. I would like to say that it's because he wants to develop the bench and the youngsters in Kochi to step up next year, but on the other hand, Athos is still in them. Or is he?
He was in the last set.
As of right now, for all you know, he's going to replace Ratish when that rotation does exist, and he comes into the front court when Abhinav goes back. But right now, it is the end of our defenders, the draw parity, courtesy that man again.
This is what the defenders do really well. Nanda is an absolute weapon on the pipe here. 4 against 3 situation. Varel goes on a wider play in the middle to open up that gap in position 5. The middle has to respect Varel. And I would say when the pass is really good from the defenders, that would be the time where I don't block the middle because Mutu uses it in those situations when it's not perfect.
That was perfectly done by Jibin Sebastian though. We've not seen him much this time on the court.
Yeah, he really hasn't established himself as one of the big go-tos on this side, but Mutu, you can see after that Rupe contactless shot, putting his hand up saying, I reached in a little bit, maybe gave too much space there for Jibin down the line.
Aman tried to go big, misses, point, Ahmedabad. You don't mind that though, a service error like that. You usually say so.
Yeah, I don't mind the ones that are aggressive out the back. I think I'd much rather, or any coach will probably much rather see that. At least there's an opportunity that a player might get a touch on it or think about it, but ones that go in the net, those are deadly.
Seneca, oh! There's still smoke coming out of Aman Kumar's hands. There's smoke coming out of Jibin's too, as he fires in the spike.
Great job by Kochi to get out of that situation. That was a bullet of a serve from Seneca, and it had to be brought back from off the court. So the blockers there, you can see a little frustrated Max as well in the backcourt, because that, by all regards, should have been a Ahmedabad point.
Athos is there in the front court now as Abhinav serves, and the pocket rocket hits, and the pocket rocket usually gets points when he takes a lead.
Again, it's another example for the defenders where that pass is perfect. And this is what we saw in the early games. When they pass well, they're unstoppable. But Mutu never goes to the middle in these situations because Athos has to guard the middle because the pass is so aggressive. Then he goes to the outside and Athos is nowhere to be seen.
Back yourself, Louis.
Well, everyone can know that he's there and he can be seen. He just doesn't get out.
He's not invisible.
Yeah, he's not invisible, correct. Depends if you take Louis literally or not.
Louis literal.
Oh, how Ilya Burao wishes he was invisible at that moment. Or rather, non-existent because the ball may have gone out. It just clatters into his chest. There's nothing he could do.
Well, he does his very best to get arms under it and sacrifice the body, but it's an 8-2-3. Super spike from Athos, who's been relatively quiet in the offense.
To be fair, he's been quiet throughout the tournament. It's not like we've seen Athos score a bunch of points. Seneca with the reception. Difficulties for Srikanth, difficulties for the defenders. It's a 2-point lead. The other way.
And that's actually fascinating to me because I think Athos is such a great middle that he could be used so much more. But the problem for Kochi, they're not getting that first ball in. They're not allowing that offense to be used. So he's a little bit quiet because he's just only scoring points from block.
Fair play to Jibin. That was a thunderous serve.
That's true. Tries it again. This time the net takes some pace off it. The angle man takes flight. Dug out by Aman. It has to be set by the libero. Erin sends it back. Nanda Gopal drives it home.
I've got to give a bit of credit here to Mutu. You see this set, it's right on the right-hand sideline. So it's a 9-meter set, more or less, and then the middle's always second best to it. If you set long lines and you set them quick enough, you'll beat the middle blocker for speed, but he still can go to the line there, Nanda. Key, you're shaking your head.
I'm just picking my jaw up off the floor after that attack because he is so precise and there's so much power in such a small fella that he's just one of my favorite players to watch, Nanda.
Meanwhile, clever play by Om Basant Lad. Another point in Kochi's kitty.
If you look at this team from last season, and remember they had Santosh playing on the outside as well, and what a season Santosh is having. We've seen him earlier today for Delhi just go full send again. It just shows how strong they were last season.
They were imperious, and they're quite imperious this season too. The angle man was trying to be soft, but there came that hard hit from Aman on the outside. 7-4 now. Wake up, Ahmedabad. Yet again, that wake-up call needs to come in.
Do we think we might see an SBI super point sooner rather than later? Because it was called relatively early in the last set.
Why not now?
Why not? Why not, I ask.
I'm just interested by the eyes and actions of Ahmedabad at the moment, whether we've actually got them at full intensity again or not. But what we're also learning is the service pressure being high certainly affects the rhythm that Muthu Sami runs his game at. When the service pressure's low, float serving, I feel like they run full offense and it's really, really solid. But we saw it with the Torpedoes and the Meteors. When they really went for their serves, the defenders struggled.
Meanwhile, it seems like Dragan Mihailovic does have the review paddle, but then has decided against it. And as we reach the midway mark of this set, that is the Amul technical timeout. It's a 4-point lead for the Kochi Blue Spikers in this second set after losing the first.
Welcome back to the Rupe Prime Volleyball League. Here is a look at that last point. So it goes up, the swing is off Nanda into the blockers. And there's the touch, I believe, by Seneca.
Yeah, that was the moment for contention, wasn't it, Key? Because they were wondering whether they should take a review or not. They must have got the best view, though, of that particular moment because they're in the Rupe VIP box, the best seats in the house here at the Jawaharlal Nehru Indoor Stadium in Chennai. I know Louis has been trying to vie for a spot there time and again.
They won't let him in.
He loves to be on the go.
They bounce him at the door every time.
Meanwhile, Seneca. What's going on? There is no telepathy today at all.
Yeah, they told me I'm not allowed in the Rupe box until I dance better, apparently. I have to improve on that side of things. And Ahmedabad defenders are improving slightly. That's a bit of a sloppy touch defensively from Jibbin, but he's made some moves from the service line. Kochi lead by 3.
The pocket rocket with yet another ginormous serve. Om Basant Lad sets it for Aman. Talk about ginormous. Talk about being a giant. That's Shikhar for you.
So I call this cramming the play. They managed to make the front court receiver pass very straight, and the only option is either you take a risk and go back or to the pipe, or you sit that ball up and down. Now the answer for me on that ball that's up and down and very close is you don't hammer that ball steep. You have to change speed, go tip off the hands or go high.
This time he went to Aaron, goes to Athos. There you go, he's in the points now. But oddly enough, he averages only about 3 points a game.
Yeah, and I just think that's not enough for a player of his caliber, of his experience. I mean, he was the best middle blocker of the Greek Cup in 2017. He's won the Egyptian League. I mean, he's played in Dubai, Portugal, Brazil, Italy. He's been around the world. I think if Kochi could rely on him a little more, give him that faith, get him those sets, not just only for the block, I think they would have a lot more success.
How many times have you seen Ankle Man miss more spikes than hit them correctly? Today is just one of those days that are proving to be an anomaly.
Yeah, he's certainly usually got the guns firing. But I think that's what's great about Ahmedabad right now and every day is that we keep talking about other players stepping up. So sometimes it's Nanda, sometimes it's Seneca. Today also Shakur in the block, that missing piece that we were talking about earlier. So Ahmedabad, just so many pieces.
So I would say that last play was a domino play, as I call it. The first pass was slightly quick and at Mutu Sami. So Mutu Sami couldn't get underneath the ball with his hips and get the ball wide enough on Angamutu. So then Angamutu had the ball inside him and he missed the sideline. My man.
Yeah, he's smiling because he just heard your explanation.
My man.
He Nippon Paint mascot Blobby, Louis' best friend here at the Jawaharlal Nehru Indoor Stadium.
If there's any people I like, it's big heads and small legs.
Have you been giving him private lessons, volleyball lessons on the sideline?
Yeah, but he's struggling because his arms aren't very big.
He doesn't get his platform together, doesn't move his feet. He's not a great student.
I don't know if he can get his arms around his head to pass the ball efficiently enough.
Meanwhile, there is some efficiency by Aaron. Of course there is. Sometimes you don't need to put in all your power. You've just to be smart about it.
That's correct. And especially in this out-of-system situation, it's a great set to bring that ball back alive and at least give Aaron the chance to score. And for me, I feel a bit sorry for Aaron because I believe that he would get into most teams in the league with how strong he is in that outside. Because we're looking at teams and saying, okay, they're not quite physical enough on the outsides. And Aaron certainly brings that for a team. But he's not quite got... The last 2 seasons, it's not quite gone the way he would have wanted. Let's put it that way.
That's not on him though, is it?
No, that's what I'm trying to say. I think he's fabulous.
The marquee player in certain ways or in certain senses for the Kochi Blue Spikers is Aaron Berg. He's their go-to man time and again as there's a double substitution. Setter to 0-4. Ashwath comes in.
Have we seen this substitution at all this season? I don't think Mutsu and Angamutu have ever left the court.
We saw it last season quite a few times, didn't we? And can you remember, Key and I went and watched this team train the first day we were here last year. And Ashwath walked in the door and I was like, who is this guy? 204, good hands. Goes straight to the middle, misses out this time, but you'll see that I think Ashwath's somebody worth developing because of his height, because of his hands, and he doesn't quite get the court time he probably needs to develop at the rate of knots that he needs to.
Meanwhile, it is going to be a set point for Kochi Blue Spikers as Ahmedabad defenders have called for an SBI super point. And perhaps the substitution was made keeping in mind that this set is almost lost anyway. It is the SBI super point. There is a miscommunication. It goes away. The defenders are at 6s and 7s as the Kochi Blue Spikers drop parity in the set count.
Well, that was unexpected. Ahmedabad completely switching off. It looks like some miscommunication there between the two in the backcourt, and an SBI super point goes the way of Kochi to finish it off. Well, Kochi might have a little bit of hope now.
Yeah, they certainly will. They've got back to 1-1 against the Ahmedabad defenders. It's time for us to take a very quick break. Set 3 on the way. Well, here are the statistics. A great fight back from the Kochi Blue Spikers. That's more like it from an attitude perspective. 12 successful spikes to 6. They are out-attacking one of the best teams in the league. And also 9 unforced errors from the defenders. They've dropped their level at the moment, and be interesting to see what happens in set 3.
It would be interesting to see how many players from the Kochi Blue Spikers you picked when you played the Fantasy Akhada game. All you have to do is download the Fantasy Akhada app or go on to fantasyakhada.com. You can pick 4 players from one team at the max. And I wonder whether the Ahmedabad defenders were a little overconfident coming into this game. With the way they've approached it, the way they played. First blood yet again to Jibin Sebastian. It just seems like, I'm not trying to stir the pot when I say that, it just seems the way they've approached this game is a bit more sluggish than usual.
Well, I would say the first set, they took a little bit of time to gear up, and remember winning with a big block by Seneca on an SBI super point called by Kochi. In the second, everything just looking a little sloppier, and then losing on an SBI super point called by Ahmedabad. Very different looking sets.
Aman misses. Yeah, he's not happy at all. If looks could kill, this would be the poster for that.
Similar look to what you have in the mornings, Atish.
Before my coffee, don't disturb me. Just don't disturb me.
Back.
Om Vasant Lad towards Jibin Sebastian, who went for the rainbow. Seneca trips over Shrikant. We hope they're all right. Angelman sends it through. Erin before Pandey. Jibin yet again. Muthuswamy towards Seneca. Shrikant digs it out. Muthuswamy to Seneca yet again. This time the block is correct. The block is fine. And Kochi get the point.
This is wild, because it's not going the way of the defenders, and they're having to fight for everything against the Kochi side that are playing for pride, and they're looking aggressive now, Kochi. They're certainly improving. The issue I have, and maybe you guys can help fill in the gaps here, is I think if the defenders do lose, okay, and that's, well, that'd be a big shock in this league. I think that drags them into the race with Chennai and the Bengaluru Torpedoes for the last spot, or the last 2 spots of the Super Fives.
I think we'd be surprised not to get them in the Super Fives. They only have 1 loss so far, so they're definitely, by my book, they're in. But yeah, if not winning in that top 2 spots, that could change everything drastically, not having those 1 or 2 point cushion going into the Super Fives.
And we did say, sometimes it's not great playing your best volleyball in the first 3 or 4 matches of the season. A2-3 Super Spike. Their levels were so high in those first 3 games. Very difficult to maintain that, especially with stats and data, and especially with the way that teams are now starting to learn how to serve in this league.
Well, I think Ahmedabad also got a little bit lucky, right? They played that Chennai that wasn't quite the Chennai we're seeing now. They got that 3-0 win there. However, if they were to play Chennai today, tomorrow, in this next week, would that be a different battle?
Atmosphere beauty. A little samba magic. Twice on the block. Once through the pipe, then after that on Seneca. And the Kochi Blue Spikers have a 3-point lead.
They've only scored 7 points out of the last 2 sets, haven't they? That's, what, 19 points for Kochi in that time. Crazy. You wouldn't think that it's top of the league versus bottom.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, because there is a mile between the 2 of them. There's a mile between these players and the rest as well, as we take a look at the Indian Oil MVP leaderboard, which is being led by Santosh, who won the player of the match in the previous encounter today itself. The Pocket Rocket is at number 2, along with Vineet. It's just that Nanda Gopal has played lesser matches, and Jerome Vineet and Amit Gulia complete the top 5. The player of the match gets 10 points and the game changer gets 8. And that's how you keep on adding it throughout the duration of the tournament. And eventually, one of them will get that big trophy. Abhinav, he's been holding serve. Angelman has been dug out by Om Basant Lad. That's why Aman has to do the work. Jibin had no choice. Muthu sends it towards Seneca, who sends it to Australia from Chennai.
I have one question, maybe to the both of you, is that we've kind of just assumed that Muthu is okay after we saw him go down with that injury earlier, and maybe his sets haven't been on point. And I think that first set was won with some really aggressive serving by Nanda. They might have got lucky there, but maybe that weakness is now being exposed.
There's a substitution as Seneca has been sent to the dugout and Shanti John comes in. Muthuswamy was getting iced actually when Ashwath went in. He was receiving treatment on the sidelines. So that is actually a very, very valid point as Abhinav tried to do something different, and I wonder why.
But then you would ask the question whether you just keep Ashwath in anyway, because as you said, this is the game to maybe give him the run.
Yeah.
And also he's very capable. But it's just not there at the moment from the defenders in any way, shape or form. Shanti John is now in, but we saw after missing last season with the ankle injury, he's come in again. He's still not 100%, but he really has to fire.
He did fire in the serve towards Aman. Jibin takes flight. Jibin's cut off a different gravy today.
My question is Kochi winning this match, or is Ahmedabad just losing it for themselves? Because we haven't really seen the best of them. But then again, I don't want to take away from that is a huge swing, targeting Nanda straight through the middle of the arms. That's an open block almost.
Oh, I think you don't win 15-6 and you're not leading 6-2 unless you're doing something really well. I would say the first set was really quite a low level, but since then I think Kochi have been good value. Jibin's service run in the previous set got the fire started, and then they're just adding a little bit of fuel to it.
And if I'm not mistaken, all of Ahmedabad's points in this set have come from service errors by Kochi, so they're almost just hanging on by a thread, it seems like.
Jibin yet again. What's in that arm today?
He had his coffee this morning.
Yeah, probably took Ahmedabad's too.
Yeah, you've got to say that he's probably got a bit of a point to prove, which is quite a nice way of bringing in 83 super spike. But if he's been riding the bench all year and your team have been losing, even if you know that you're not going to make super fives, you've got that motivation to come in and absolutely tear it apart, which he's doing. Serving, spiking, blocking, he's got it.
It seems to be Jibin's day. A 4-point lead as Erin Verghese sends it in through the baseline. Muthuswamy with the back set towards the angle, man. It's in. It's in. That's a welcome point. That's the first point that the Ahmedabad defenders have won in this set on their own accord.
Yeah, an unusual start for Ahmedabad. A tough serve there, though, gets them a good situation to work with. You see the blockers in a good place. Oh, that swing from before from Jibin.
And think they've only scored 10 points out of what I think the last 32.
Aman, Om, Jibin. This time it was blocked. Ayush Pandey retrieves. Om sends it towards Aman Kumar. They shut it down. And they shut it down, and how?
Shikur again. Start to remember that name. He's barely had any playing time this season, and he has been coming up big with that Kred super block. Just great penetration at the net. His form is fantastic for such a young player.
Muthuswamy. A dump by Om Basant Lal, tried to be retrieved, but in vain. Who's fallen here? Who's taken a tumble here? Things going a bit asunder as we head into the Amul Pool technical timeout with the Kochi Blue Spikers 3 points ahead. It's 1-1 in the set count.
Welcome back to the Rupe Prime Volleyball League, and here's a look at the Amul Emerging Player nominees. They have to be under 25 years old. Anand, someone we've been talking a lot about today, but also 2 Kochi Blue Spikers and 2 Ahmedabad defenders, so all 4 of them out on court here today. I'm a big fan of Nanda being on that list.
Me too, and I was a big fan of Anand in the studio. What a lovely young lad.
Can't believe you guys did that without me. The betrayal.
Yeah, sorry, Keith, I had a long time.
Meanwhile, Shikhar just pointing out that it's not only through blocks, he can spike it through. I had to get the attention back to the game. Enough of his disappointment.
It's a Rupe contactless shot straight through the middle. And another point for Shikhar. I've been loving his performance. I mean, we've seen him come up big in the blocks, but also to add a little something in the front court in the offense as well. He's, I think, the 2nd top scorer right now for Ahmedabad.
Jibin! They've just been using that move time and again. And the Ahmedabad defenders are not being able to unlock that mystery.
Yeah, good width of the set as well. You feel that there's a little bit more of a connection with Jibin with the setter here than we've seen with Kroll at times. But again, he didn't use Kroll for the first few weeks. And it's really interesting to understand why, because we're saying, is he not comfortable setting backwards? Maybe he had a thing against Jan Kroll being there in the first place. I don't know, who knows? Because it just wasn't, he wasn't getting this service, Jan Kroll, that we're seeing here for Jibin, which is crazy. We've asked so many questions, why didn't they use the right side all season? And tonight, they're very comfortable using it.
Aaron there, apologizing for his mistake. It was heading out. Needed to do an Anand. Needed to do a Neo from the Matrix. Shikhar, meanwhile. Little Hindi lesson for you. Shikhar actually means the top of a mountain. And that's how he must be feeling right now, playing at this stage. Angamuthu's been blocked. Om Basant Lad sends it towards Jibin Sebastian yet again. Be it on the right, be it on the left, he's ready to show his might tonight.
He has been fantastic this match. He's top scorer for their side. Big trumps, 8 points so far from Jibin, but also the touches, right? He's just picked up that ball and kept it going again. I just wonder then, if they wanted to use him, could they maybe have had either him or Jan Kroll in the outside hitting spot with Aaron?
Maybe, but we will never know. And I would like a penny for the thought of former coach Dejan Vucevic, because he sat here courtside as well. I wonder what's going through his mind.
He's probably wondering where were these performances when I was the coach then. Meanwhile, Shanti John has cause to celebrate.
Yeah, it's another out of system, or not out of system, but there's no middle. You have to go to the outside there, so I'm fascinated. The pass still isn't going in from the defenders.
An SBI super point, called by Kochi Blue Spikers. 2 points on the line. Om Basant Lad towards Erin. Shrikant takes its advantage. Ahmedabad defenders now. Om Basant Lad with the first touch, and therefore Jibin has to set desperation, the need of the hour. Desperate times call for Shanti John with the measures. An SBI super point called by Kochi, gone the defender's way.
Don't you just love the fact there that, well, Shanti's almost brother Mutu just ran straight over to him. No one happier to see this SBI super point than Mutu Sami. Big hug, great shot of those two.
Yeah, Shanti John, of course, made a mark in the first season. And he was one of the players you both were looking forward to seeing in season 2 when you joined in for the first time. As Shanti John contributes in defense. He is shot at the right time.
3 back-to-back points for Shanti John. Well, I'm certainly impressed. Have a look at this. And we've been asking for this answer to Jibin on the right side. Looks like Shanti John is it.
Yeah, that ball's just inside from me, so he's only got the cross-court angle to hit, and there's 3 blockers there. So maybe Jibin could have swung a bit higher, could have recycled that ball knowing that there's a big shadow looming over him.
No Shanti John in this list, but in the great top 5 blockers, you do find some very, very, very tall men. Akin, the Great Wall of Chennai, along with Shamimuddin, Saurabh Man, Ashwal Rai and Aponza. Now remember, only 5 teams go ahead. So out of these 5 players, which one do you think will end up as the winner?
That's a great question. So Ashwal's out of it.
I'm known for asking great questions.
I was just giving myself time to think. See?
Meanwhile, no time to think for the Kochi Blue Spikers because the Ahmedabad defenders have run away with the lead. That SBI Super Point has changed the momentum and how.
Yeah, it really has. And when you're a team with no confidence, it doesn't take a lot to break you. And that's what's happened with Kochi. It was all going their way, then the momentum shifts and they don't know how to fight back because they haven't got those victories to lean on this season.
Jibin, it's Nanda in the jow. Shanti John gets caught, goes back to Shanti John who tried the rainbow, tipped away by Jibin Sebastian. Anga Muthu takes a swipe, Nanda digs, but it's a 4-touch foul, is it? Is that what's happened? Yeah, that's what's happened.
Well, the referees called 4 touches on that, and I think you can look at the face of the players, face of the coaches. There's no one on that Ahmedabad side that believes there wasn't a touch in the block.
Well, Dragan Mihailovic has just decided to block cross-court on the wing, on the right side, on Jibin. And I think that's a very smart move.
It does give us time to finish off that answer that you needed to think about. Ashwal's out of it. Who else?
What was the question again?
Who wins the best blocker?
Probably Akin. I think he's been fantastic so far. We've seen some really big matches from him, and Chennai's kind of established themselves as a really blocking team. I don't see Ahmedabad in that run. I think they're more of an offensive team.
Now, there is nothing called a review for a 4-touch foul, but you can play by the rules and find the grey area. So they are calling for a block touch, and therefore a touch-out foul.
So there it is. It touches the arms of the blocker, then it hits the net and comes back on their side. And just to clarify, in this situation, if the blocker's doing their job and their job is to reach their arms over the net, 9 times out of 10, even if it hits the net, it will also hit the arms of the player on the other side. So these kind of challenges happen often in international volleyball, and they're a pretty safe bet.
Yep, the odds were in Ahmedabad's favor. So it'll be replayed because obviously there was no victor in that point. Ahmedabad have finished their reviews off though. George Anthony gets a look in instead of Aman.
I like George Anthony as well. I think he adds an aggressive dynamic to the team. We were saying, or Key was saying, that she would have maybe used one of the opposites on the outside. Maybe we could have seen a bit more of George in the team.
Ayush Pandey receives. Jitin has come in as the setter. As the spike almost takes a piece out of the line umpire.
A long swing, but that's also, well, it's a great ball in for coaching. That's pretty much the perfect situation to run the middle. I fear that it was a little bit tight. Avinav onto the net, didn't give himself enough of a window to swing.
Angamuthu, Ayush Pandey, not a good reception. Erin gets the touch, Shrikant digs. Muthu sets to Sean T. John, and Sean T. John does what Sean T. John does best.
Other than having a fantastic name, he is a fantastic player.
Yes, fantastic game.
Not better than yours, Atish. But this swing here into the block and out, I think what he's doing is really clever, that he's going aggressive, but he still stays high with his swing, and he recognizes that the block is just that fraction late. The arms are a little bit open, and he's really fast with that finishing swing.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to say is he just speeds up his arm at the last moment. So if the blocker's making a press, then all of a sudden the arm's too quick for the hands of the blocker.
Set point meanwhile. Well, there are still more set points.
He's changed the game though, Shanti, hasn't he? since he's come on,
Yeah.
he's made the SBI super point play, he's made a good block, he's made that kill, he's made a big difference, and maybe he's got a big part to play for this team this year.
Are we already putting in an early shout for the game changer?
I would say yes.
Ooh, the jury's still out.
That got you excited though, didn't it?
It did. At least I knew one award already. Meanwhile, Shanti John yet again has definitely changed the game in Ahmedabad's favour. He's turned the tide because Ahmedabad defenders have bounced back and won this set 15-11.
Well, Ahmedabad needed a little bit of a lift, and it came in that man right there, Shanti John, with a few points back-to-back to get Ahmedabad back to their winning ways.
Kudos to Max Seneca, the first man to congratulate the man who replaced him. As we go to a very quick break, the defenders take the lead 2-1.
And we have got two super fans from the audience. I'm going to ask them a few questions. Before that, quick introduction. What is your name? Which team you support? Who is your favorite player?
My name is Ryan Vineet Matthew. I support Kochi Blue Spikers, and Jitin is my favorite player.
Jitin is your favorite player. Okay. Same question to you.
I'm Kirtan. I'm from Chennai. I support Ahmedabad. And my favorite player is Nanda.
Nanda. Okay. Are you following this Rupee Prime Volleyball League Season 3?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. My first question for both of you is, how many teams are playing in Rupee Prime Volleyball Season 3 this season? How many teams are playing?
9.
9? Any doubts?
No, it's 9.
Okay, it's 9. Who is the newest team to join this Season 3? Any guesses from your side?
Delhi Toofans.
Delhi Toofans. Yes, that's right. Okay, next question is for you. How many players are allowed to play inside the court?
6.
6 is the right answer. The common question for both of you is, what is the jersey number of Jibin from Kochi Blue Spikers?
15.
15. Okay. Any guess?
16, I'll guess.
16 you will guess, but both are wrong answers. It is 5. Yes. Thank you so much for participating. Both of you will get a goodie from our team. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Support Rupee Prime Volleyball League. All the best for both of you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome back to the Rupee Prime Volleyball League. Here's what's happened so far. The Ahmedabad defenders turning it around in that third set, and they're now up 2-1 to the Kochi Blue Spikers, who are fantastic in the second. Here's how it's happened. 5 blocks to 3 is one of the stats that stand out to me, but if you want to go and have a look at them yourself, you can head over to volleyballworld.com, get the exclusive stats of this league, as well as watch, because they are our international streaming partner.
Hello, volleyballworld.tv.
It's pronounced VBTV. Get the slang right.
Meanwhile, he didn't get the serve right, did he? As we start the fourth set.
Really interested to see if Kochi react to this situation, because they were well on top in this game. What were they, 4-1 up in that set? Maybe 7-4, something like that. And unfortunately for them, Shanti John came in.
They were 8-5 during the technical timeout, and then the SBI Super Points and Shanti John's contribution yet again coming to the fore. He may not have got the last touch, but he did have a telling say.
Big block, big blocking moment, and you're exactly right, calling him out. That's Really good work here in the Cred super block that Shanti John gets all the way over. The block does go to Muthu and Ilya Barao, but there just wasn't anywhere else to go for the attacker.
Yeah, and the setter, because he's on the front court, couldn't bring the 10 into the game because the pass was too straight and a little bit too low. So really good awareness to get 3 in.
Shanti John is the jack in the box tonight. He's turning the game on its head.
And I'm over the moon for him, honestly. You think about his journey from being one of the star men of the first season, injured last year. He missed out on the World Club Championships because of the injury as well. So to have him back and have him firing is great for the league, but I'm over the moon for him.
Fantastic fella as well. Always smiles on the sideline, always the first to support his teammates. And I love that you called that out, Max Seneca doing the same for him after that set.
Kochi have something to smile about now. I've been out getting that point, but it's been the Shanti John's show so far since he's come in. So it's been what? Half a set and these few initial points.
And I just wonder if Ahmedabad feel comfortable with him out there, right? A lot of these players are returning from last year, from the year before. This might be the team that Ahmedabad will put together for the finals.
Jan Kroll, meanwhile, has come onto the court. As Erin gets the point, Muthu apologizes.
Yeah, you've got to love Jan Kroll because he's come straight in. He's been on the bench, but he's an experienced customer. And he comes in and makes it about the team. He's quick with his actions, and then he celebrates straight away. First man to go and see Erin. Great swing from Erin as well, but maybe that's the change that Kochi needed.
Polish powerhouse at the baseline now. Shanti John with the reception. Soft hands, the pipe attack comes through. Nanda Gopal, he's been thwarted. Erin, thwarted by Nanda Gopal. Muthu far set to Shanti John. Up and up with the dig. Kroll with the second touch. Sets it up for Erin. Nanda does his best. Shrikant towards the angle man, who lets it fly. Gets the touch, gets the point.
This is the volleyball we've been looking for this whole night long. The rally that gave us a little bit of everything in defense and in offense, but that man right there, you can't keep him down long. And you see Kroll in the backcourt thinking, was there a touch? Was there not? Do I leave it? Just that little bit there is enough.
Again, the ball's very far inside, so there's no line available for him. But what he does well is he just stays high on it. Quick feet, stays really high over the top of the hands. Shanti John, great game this one now.
Ayush Pandey, Om Basantla towards up in half, who misses it completely. Shanti John holds.
Bobby Xavier, in his first game as Kochi boss, has probably had the full range of emotions, isn't he? He's had the ups and the downs, the good periods, the tough periods, all in the last hour or so.
You just condensed life into a few sets of volleyball.
All the emotions.
Shanti John with the first mistake that we've seen from him on court ever since he's come in.
He is human, as it turns out.
Yeah, he's allowed that one. Good aggressive swing, no problem. Ahmedabad have found their level because of Shanti John.
Shrikant, meanwhile, receives up enough serve. It's set towards the angle man. And when he gets going, the defenders get going.
Yeah, I just sort of having a little chat with Key here. That Shrikant, for me, has to try and put that ball in a bit tighter. It's not the toughest of serves, but you want that ball in front of Muthu Sami. In turn, he knows he's got that release option with Anga Muthu, who can just stay high. Two good swings in a row from the angle man.
And that's his shot. That is his favorite, right in the corner. Does not blink.
Ilya Barao. Athos, Om Basantla towards Jebin. It's been a while since he said that name, and when we did, he misses.
Yeah, I think there's a reason why the defenders are just putting up a cross-court block, because it's making it very difficult for him to find an angle around it. Let's see if it was a cross-court block or not, but I think Mihailovic has changed his tactics on him as this game's gone on. And yeah, Nanda's starting Well, they're drifting into the line, swing blocking out, but there's still no angles available. Haven't seen him hit the line too much, though, is what I'm trying to say.
He did hit one in the first set, as far as I remember. Oh, what a good dig there by Jan Kroll. As Kochi win the point, Aaron may get the point in his statistics, but it should be given to Jan Kroll.
And Kroll, exactly that question mark for us. Could he come in and maybe play in this role? And yes, in the reception, showing that even opposites have a little bit of a platform on him.
Jibin Sebastian, meanwhile, heads to the baseline. There's a 3-point differential between the defenders and the Kochi Blue Spikers. It's all or nothing when it comes to Kochi Blue Spikers. It's completely all and nothing for Kochi to do about it. As Sean T. John launches himself for the pipe attack, takes his team through during the Amulpur technical timeout with a 4-point lead. The defenders sit comfortably.
Welcome back to the Rupe Prime Volleyball League. Here's a look at the 823 top 5 spikers. Vineet Kumar way at the top there for Kolkata. Couple of Mumbai players, and then Santosh from Delhi. Jerome from Calicut.
Yeah, and Nanda just needs 2 points to get into the top 5 in place of Amit Gulia. And Blobby would be happy to know that he'd become the 5th person to get 50 attack points if he gets 3 more.
How many attack points does Blobby have?
Louis should know. Louis has been coaching him.
Just hasn't got arms long enough, said earlier.
So he's a libero then.
I don't know if he can even put his arms around to make a platform.
Shanti John with the dig, but not successful. As the Kochi Blue Spikers get the first point as we come back from the midway mark of this set.
I would love to see a comeback from Kochi here. I think all things are going well for Ahmedabad. This is the team that they're used to seeing. This is the style of play we're used to seeing. However, I think Kochi have a little bit more in them still. I don't think this is a done deal.
Well, if there's one man who can serve them to glory, it would be this one.
Almost did so. Shrikant took a hit. Angamuthu takes a swipe and swipes it well, swipes the floor clean.
Look at Dragan Mihailovic almost walking onto court. He knows that his boys are turning this one around from what was a tough display. Rupe contact was shot. They're getting aggressive. The angle man's firing up. And he looks happy at Dragan, doesn't he?
Slightly. You almost saw a little smirk. I don't know if happy is the word to describe it, but...
Soft serve, meanwhile, by Nanda. Well picked out by Jan Kroll. Far set towards Shanti John, who clips it. All smiles for Shanti John.
Man, he's got a little bit of everything in him. But look at this. Just the cut of the angle. All he's doing is targeting the hands of Atos there. He is so sharp with it and so whip of an arm. There's just no chance there for the block.
It's great to see him smiling, isn't it? The previous performance, he came off the bench. It didn't quite happen for him. He's still trying to find his match rhythm, trying to find his confidence, and I think you can say that he's found it here this evening.
Again, what better team to get your rhythm through than playing against a team that hasn't won at all? Similar story to the Ashwath theory. Meanwhile, Jibin Sebastian, he claims that there's a touch. Will Bobby Xavier put up the battle?
Yeah, this is all about putting the setter under pressure for me. They're serving as far as they can away from Jibin and saying, okay, if you want to use the danger man, that ball has to travel all the way from 5 or 5.5 all the way to 2, and that ball never gets across.
Yeah, we talk a lot about the width and the players needing that ball to kind of hit that window. Just doesn't do it on that occasion. Nanda with the roll. Kept alive by Kroll. Shanti is all over it. The heads-up play of the net goes the way of the defenders. Oh, hang on a sec, Bobby.
Get the paddle out, Bobby.
The question mark, I think, in Bobby's head is, did Shanti John reach over and grab that ball before he was allowed to? Because it has to cross the plane of the net.
I think he's okay. I think it's maybe a bit of a clutch for a few straws.
Yeah.
But let's see. I mean, I've been impressed with Kochi at times. I really have. But we said this earlier on, didn't we? Sometimes you forget how to win.
Yeah.
And you
get
can't,
into a habit of losing.
and you
and
can't
then it
get over the
becomes
finish line.
Yeah, once it starts to become comfortable to lose, that's when you really have to, you're struggling against yourself and your own mentality and your own confidence, and the things that are on the inside kind of eat you alive.
Meanwhile, a net touch review has been called by the Kochi Blue Spikers. If anything, it looks like Jibin is the one that's touched the net first.
Yeah, it looks pretty clean to me.
Unless and until there's a super magnifier that can let us know differently.
Yeah, so Shanti's definitely waited for the ball to come in to hit the plane of his, or cross the plane of the net, I should say, so he hasn't made a fault there. The question mark was just, did he maybe touch the net on the way down? I don't see it moving.
No, me neither. And you have to be aggressive there, but you have to be aggressive whilst the ball's on your side.
Yeah, and to be disciplined as well. So a lot of players, younger players, might go up and get really excited that there's no one at the net with them, and they'll get that, pull that error, but it shows a lot of body control and discipline out of Shanti John to just do enough to get the point and get the ball, but not go into the net. The suspense continues.
Yeah, I was just talking about the heartbeat.
So much tension.
Clean. So it seems like the TV officials are in cohesion with the decision made here in the commentary box by Louis and Keith.
We're trying to contain ourselves and not give away too many decisions before they've been made. It's so tough, having played volleyball for 20 years, to see something that you think is so clear and then just have to wait.
Oh. Indian Oil Super Serve! The Pocket Rocket serves it on a platter! Second this game.
Nanda is phenomenal for this team. Steps up, game after game, week after week, and Indian Oil super serve for Nanda.
He does such a good job of targeting that end line, and he's got two receivers in that zone, a channel where he just goes straight for it.
Yeah, I love the range he has, because we've seen him hit the sideline to the left of the court in the cross court. His previous Indian Oil super serve was flat back left of the cross court as well. And now he's hit another seam, so he's hit 3 aces in 3 different areas of the court. That's impressive.
That's a great point, Louis, and I think the lay person might not catch on to that, but you're exactly right. We've seen him kind of target all areas of the court.
Doesn't mean I'm still not a lame person.
A lay person. That's what makes it so difficult on the receivers.
Meanwhile, in all that excitement, forgot to announce that it's actually match point for the Ahmedabad defenders. Not 1, not 2, but literally 10 of them. As the SBI Super Point has been called by the Kochi Blue Spikers, why ever not? It is match point. It is an SBI super point. It is Nanda Gopal Subramaniam serve. George Anthony, Jitin, the Polish powerhouse Jan Kroll. Nanda digs it out.
Great work by Kroll there to stay calm under pressure. But again, I think the writing's on the wall for Kochi here. It's tough serving from Nanda and good work to do something on this SBI super point, which Kochi do win. They get themselves 2 points closer, but it's a little bit too little too late.
It's still 7 match points. Vishal has come in. Taking their time. Not the best display by the Ahmedabad defenders, but they could clutch yet another important win. The angle man misses. Jan Kroll doesn't. Earns the point.
Well, coach there saying, is that not a double contact called on the set? 2 players trying to set it, and there's a whole lot of spin on it, but I think I've got to respect the decision of the referees here to let the boys play because it is set point, match point for Ahmedabad.
If Dragan looked at me like that, I would change my decision very quickly.
Shrikant digs. Angamuthu gets it! Slow at the start, but fast to finish. That is the motto for the Ahmedabad defenders today. They may not have started very well, but they did bring up their level, and eventually they remain on top of the food chain.
Sean T. John came off the bench and made a very big difference for the defenders in my eyes. It wasn't easy for them, but I was impressed with the way they fought back. Even when their level wasn't there, they had to push for it.
Well, here's that last point as it finished. It was Angamuthu to get it done, but you're exactly right. This was a true team performance by the defenders, and they've just shown that they have much more to give. Their bench is deep, their will to win is there, and they are right there on top again, looking like the team to beat here in the Super Fives. Ramaswamy, Angamuthu's father, will be pleased with the results of this match. Like Atish said, it was a little slow at the beginning, but these players really came together. They looked like they had that will to win. And I think that's going to come in really clutch for them as they get pressed towards the end.
Well, it's a long season and it's a short season full of ups and downs. The Ahmedabad defenders take the victory 3-1. We'll be back with the presentation after the break.
Thank you so much, all of you.
Well, reigning champions, the Ahmedabad defenders went up against the Kochi Blue Spikers, who are still winless in the Rupe Prime Volleyball League, knowing that a win would take them back to the top, led by Mutu Sami. They've been one of the league's form teams throughout, with just one loss against the Bengaluru Torpedoes. They were pushed very close against the Mumbai Meteors last time out, but they come out firing from the baseline. But from a performance perspective, it wasn't quite there from the defenders because of the likes of Erin and Jibin on the right-hand side. But the Angleman started to come to the forefront, but they couldn't quite weather the Kochi storm. The opening set was a very, very close one. And in this, back Seneca making the block to take it. But in the second, it was the Kochi Blue Spikers that came back strong, and Ahmedabad seemed to just take a step back from their aggressive nature, losing 15-6. The third was a close one, and it relied on Shanti John coming off the bench, somebody who missed last season through injury, to turn the tide. And with the introduction of Shanti John, the defenders never looked back, winning the fourth and final set 15-8.
Well, Ahmedabad looking like themselves again. Here's a look at the stats. 7 blocks there at the end to 3, plus 2 Indian Oil super serves, thanks to Nanda. So we're gonna head down courtside to the presentation. A couple of players who stood out to us, and we'll find out who they are. Atish is standing by to introduce us to those players.
The Ahmedabad defenders remain on top of the table. That's not a news flash. That's just the reality. They were superior yet again. It wasn't the perfect start though. A little slow at the start, but at the end of it, they finished it off with a bang. And they've won this match against the Kochi Blue Spikers 3-1. And in the presentation party to my representing the Ahmedabad defenders is their assistant coach, Mr. Sajjad Hussain Malik, who should be very, very happy with his team's performance, particularly in the latter stages. Representing the Kochi Blue Spikers is Miss Miriam Jacob from the Muthoot FinCorp Limited. And representing Rupe is Mr. Marcelo Hargreaves, the head of events, Volleyball World. The first award is the Game Changer of the Match Award. And you have no idea how happy I am to say these 3 words. Sean T. John. The Game Changer of the match. It's been a while since we've seen him on court. The Game Changer of the match, Sean T. John, came back after an injury layoff that saw him not being part of the second season, and what a moment for him today. Sean, firstly, welcome back. Missing last season, couldn't play the first few matches, now suddenly Game Changer of the match. How does it feel?
It feels like so good, because I was very happy to be back in the court. Our coach has prepared us very well for this match. He had prepared us very well for this match in all the situations, and we will do our best in the upcoming matches. Thank you.
It was a slow start initially. I know you have a bad throat, which is one more question. It was a slow start initially, and then you came in. Did the coach give you any specific instructions, or did he just give you the license to play?
He just gave me the license to play all out. Whatever you want, you just go all out.
Aren't we glad that you went all out, Sean? Good to see you after that ankle injury. Sean T. John, the comeback man, the game changer of the match. Next up, the big award, the Rupe Player of the Match Award. And most often than not, when the Ahmedabad defenders win, this player gets the award. No surprises yet again that it is Nandagopal Subramaniam, the pocket rocket. Interestingly enough, he was being briefed yet again by the officials to take this award and what he needs to do, but he's so used to it. He's also awarded the Rupe On The Go watch to experience hassle-free payments. That's the 4th one that he owns now. And one more time, he gets to sign the match ball. The pocket rocket, Nandagopal Subramaniam. Yet again, the player of the match is the Ahmedabad defenders. Win yet another match. Is there any surprise?
Nanda, the pocket rocket, called that for good reason. Absolutely phenomenal in a few different areas. He had 7 points in total, 4 from the attack and 3 in the serve, 2 of them Indian Oil super serves. There was one right there down the channel, and that energy he brought to the team kept them in the wins, and Ahmedabad topping the table thanks to a huge performance. Another one hitting the line there. This team has reason to smile for Nanda.
Well, the points table, Kochi still rooted to the bottom, but the defenders go back to the top in front of the Calicut Heroes. A brilliant result for them today, although you feel that there'll be some things they can certainly add to their performance. Tomorrow we have another Magic Monday, another double header in the Rupe Prime Volleyball League. The Hyderabad Blackhawks up against the Bengaluru Torpedoes, who need victories to keep going towards a Super 5's place. The Mumbai Meteors versus the Chennai Blitz will be looking for another victory as well. It's all to look forward to as we look forward to tomorrow. It's time to leave you with some Nippon Paint moments, colourful moments of the day. We'll see you tomorrow.